Right, welcome to Tom and Amy's Paranormal Mysteries. Tonight we are talking about suicide forest in Japan, also known as Aokigahara. I probably said that totally wrong.
That's Aokigahara Forest. That's how it's said.
There we go. There we go. So you can see all the Japanese names tonight. You're joined once again by Nick, all the way from America. Again, it's a pleasure to have you on, Nick. The show is about you, mate. So first we'll get into it, Nick. So how have you been? Have you been anything paranormal going on this week?
Well, other than that, we did a show on the Pun Network yesterday. For the most part, it's been relatively quiet, and we actually we had one of our other Pun members that was actually the guest of the show, and I'm actually concerned about maybe having him come on to this show at some point because he's a real good expert on the real Dracula, aka Vlad the Impaler. So it's totally you got to watch the episode he's on. He really does his research.
Yeah. Oh, happy days. Yeah. Certainly, we'll get hold of him if we can and have him on. Definitely. So tonight we're talking about. You can say it again.
Aokigahara Forest.
There we go. Well, I'll just call it Suicide Forest. It's common name, and the Japanese literal translation is Sea of Trees.
It's vast, isn't it? It's huge.
Now, yes, a little bit of geography on the place. It's in northwestern flank of Mount Fuji in Japan, and it covers 30 square kilometers of hardened lava land, which was laid down by the last eruption in 864 CE.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, now its name, Suicide Forest, has unfortunately come from the extreme popularity of people ending their lives there. Estimates say there's over 100 suicides a year in this forest. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't even found.
It's crazy.
Which is an absolute shame. So I assume you've definitely heard of this, Nick, haven't you? Suicide Forest and that.
Yeah, I mean the suicide forests of Japan. That's definitely one of the most notorious, if not real, locations of death, if you will. I mean, it's literally almost like a cemetery of its own because of the many suicides that have occurred, within kind of like the walls of this forest, if you will. And it's been going on for so long. I mean, as far as I know, suicides have been going on there since the 1950s. Wow. So ever since then, they have been committing suicide. I mean, I've also heard that the main type of suicides that they mostly do is, during the early days, like a lot of people did, it was by hanging. But nowadays, it seems like it's I think the method of suicide usually like drug related. Usually, like they use like a type of drug overdose, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is, and that's right. It is from about the 1950s. That brings on to a good point. I read actually. Apparently, there was a novel that was published at the time that started all this. Now, this novel popularized the tradition of suicide in this forest because the novel, basically, its story goes of a heartbroken lover who ends her life in the forest, and this is where it did spark this huge popularization of people to go there, unfortunately, to end their lives.
It links in with the film, doesn't it? That's where the
yes. And unfortunately, victims have also been found with the Complete Suicide Manual, which is a book on all this. And in this book, it states that this is the perfect place to die, which is quite horrific, really. Now, while we're on this, before we get into it a bit more, I'll drop us a few pictures if I can. Bear with me a second.
They're not bad pictures.
Yeah, there's nothing too horrific for people that are watching. So that's the general overlay of the forest. That's what it looks like. It's very uneven because it's obviously built on lava. There's a lot of roots. There's a lot of caves. There's hundreds of caves that people can visit.
Sorry to cut you guys off. I apologize. Irene just found the link, so she should be coming on shortly.
Oh, great!
It looks like she will be joining us.
Happy days, awesome. That's brilliant.
I was just going to say it's a shame that the history of it, because it is such a beautiful forest.
It is beautiful. You can go there and visit it. It's fantastic forest to go.
I don't think I'd visit.
I'll find some others now. Unfortunately, like you said, the most popular way is of hanging. There is
That one, yeah.
obviously leftover nooses
Yep, they're
left behind.
Leftovers.
Is a bit.
She's showing the line.
Yeah.
There was actually a video of 2 American tourists that went over to the suicide forest. They weren't looking for anything in particular. They were just kind of, they weren't really investigators. They were just kind of walking through, documenting. And oftentimes when you go through that forest, you usually will come across pieces of debris and stuff like that. Now, like here in North America and Europe, usually that's nothing more than littering. But out in Japan, at the suicide forest, it's really more or less kind of possessions that belong to the victims. And these 2 American tourists, they at one point found some type of I don't know if it was an ID. It was some kind of identification card, and the card read it was from 1988. This was 2013, 2014 that they went. So they found like a card from the 80s that probably belonged to whoever committed suicide there.
Yeah, apparently it's a big thing. A lot of people do this. Like you see in the bottom of the picture there's a lot of personal items left. Apparently it's quite a common thing for these people that do commit suicide. They take a lot of personal items with them and leave them on the ground.
The idea is that they set up a camp in the forest, and they're contemplating still whether they're going to go ahead and do it or whether they're just going to go, back home. And that's why I think a lot of the tents and stuff that are left there, obviously because they're not going to take it back with them. So
I do know you can actually camp there. Why you'd want to, I don't know. But the police do try and discourage people camping there because it does literally look like you just said, people contemplating their death.
Which is a shame again, because obviously it would be a lovely place to obviously visit and set up camp.
No, definitely. I mean, this place is beautiful. I mean, Mount Fuji, people go there all the time. Tourists. There's also an ice cave, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an ice cave that you can visit. The beautiful things. It's just the unfortunate thing that it has become the #1 place in the world to commit suicide, which is
I think it's actually the 3rd most popular location to commit suicide, because there's 2 other locations. The first one I know is San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
And, the second one is, I can't remember what the second one was, but it much like you see with the Golden Gate Bridge, like you just said, there are usually signs posted throughout the wooded areas, both in Japanese and English. You'll find signs that say, "Life is precious," or "Think of your family." There she is. Hey, Irene.
Hey. Hi.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's awesome to have you on.
Great. I just woke up. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you so much for coming on. It's a pleasure. How are things over in Japan anyway? Are they?
Aside from the winter earthquakes, it's not bad.
Yeah, you have earthquakes there at the moment, do you?
A lot.
Yeah.
We had one last night.
Oh boy.
It was pretty.
Did it shake a lot in the house?
Gosh, trying to hold the furniture at the same time. It's kind of hard,
God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't get anything like that here.
we have to hold our place where we have our dishes where we have the dishes thing, and I have to hold that so it doesn't fall down, because I won't have any dishes if I don't hold it,
God.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But in the wintertime it gets pretty bad. It's not that bad in the wintertime. It's usually very, very calm. But this year it's been really nasty. Last year it was really bad too. Like I had to hold my furniture down all the time. Now in the wintertime, but I usually don't have to.
Yeah. I suppose because you're on the edge of the Pacific, aren't you? So I suppose you get a lot of problems with earthquakes out there.
I bet you got locks in all your cupboards.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the springtime, I don't have cupboards in my kitchen. Everything's all down below. You know,
Oh,
so
That's a
it's
good
not
idea.
about. There's nothing about just down below. I have it, so it's okay. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, in the wintertime, it's usually pretty calm. But this year was pretty nasty. Last year and this year, it was just kind of like it was going all the time, and it's like, please, I don't want to bill out in the middle of the winter. It's freezing out here. Like, man, it's outside. I did that in the springtime, and I did that in the springtime where we used to live in a condominium, and it broke apart, and the ceiling and the floor came up about 5 meters. I mean, and it was just horrible. That was when the Fukushima earthquake happened. Like everything.
Oh wow.
It was the Richter scale 7 outside, and it was just bad. And we all had to run outside, and I'm sitting there.
Quite glad we don't have that here.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, what do we have? We have a little bit of snow. We had about 3 inches of snow here.
Schools
yesterday.
were closed.
They closed schools. Yeah. Everyone had to go home, but we don't have to deal with anything like that. That's crazy.
Well, it's been like that. We're living on a volcano, right? Japan is like
tectonic plates.
Yeah.
It's several volcanoes, and it's just kind of crazy. So your Mount Fuji is still alive too. So they're living volcano also. So they just sometimes they go like this.
Whereabouts are you then? Are you close to Mount Fuji? Are you?
No, I'm in Tokyo.
In Tokyo. Oh, okay, okay.
So it's Earthquake Alley.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's mad. So, Irene, what's your interest in paranormal? Do you have a strong interest in the paranormal, or?
I used to live in a very haunted condominium.
Oh, okay.
I think I shared it with Parent Unity too a couple times also. It was nasty. I got attacked every 6 years. We lived there for 25 years. But I noticed I have a way with hearing ghosts. I can hear them. They talk to me in my ear. I said, sometimes I say, don't bother me now. I'm making dinner. Please, like they always they call me in my ear, and sometimes I do live streams with my friend who is an investigator. I do live streams with him, and I said, please, not now. Oh my God. Oh jeez. Like they're telling me 4 little words in my ear, and I said, no, you can't do that. And I found out he was a dark entity. So, and I see, and there's kids, and I see them as I sit there. I look away in my head, and I could say, okay, this kid's wearing this. Okay, I know how he died. Okay, yeah. Okay, he was sick. He had an illness. Okay, and there's another one that said, okay, this one had cancer. And then there's an adult and said, okay, she died. She also had cancer. I know how they died. I know exactly what killed them.
Yeah. Yes. Does they give you certain messages then, or is it more of a just like they're just telling you about?
I can talk to them. I just say, okay, you should leave. You should leave there. You have no business staying there. There's no place to haunt there. You should go to heaven. And sometimes I direct them to go to heaven. Sometimes I close my eyes and I said, okay, you have to go now. You have no business being there. There's nothing there for you. And there's another time where my friend and I he was streaming, and I said it was a really old motel room, and I said, oh, there's a little girl there. Okay, she's got blue dress. She was 5 years old. She had ruffles on her dress, and she had a ponytail. I said, oh, she was killed. I said, I knew it. Darn it.
Yeah.
And then I saw her So she said, she had a fever in the motel, and that's how she died. I said, oh.
Jesus.
I said, oh, I have to have some help. I need to have some help. She's still in that motel. She has to cross over. I wasn't strong enough at that time.
Yeah.
And I asked a medium who is also my friend, and I asked him, can you help me, please? I'll describe her to you. And then I told her what she was and how old she was. And I said, oh yeah, I can see her. Let's help her cross over. So we helped her cross over. And it was just something that I really had to do with children. It was just, I just couldn't sleep because it bothered me so much. And I waited for 1 week. I asked my friends, all my friends couldn't help me because they weren't strong enough. So the special medium I asked that I just knew because I was on his show so many times. I said, we have to help her cross over. He said, yeah, okay, let's do it. So there's 3 of us that help her cross over. We were streaming together, and all 3 of us helped her cross over. And then another time, when I was buying my turkey, we were on the bus, and the overpass was a freeway, and then underneath it, the bus was going. I said, oh, and this guy was asking. His name was David, and he was asking me. I said, what are you doing here? He said, I died in a car accident. I said, I have to. You have to go to heaven. You can't stick around here.
Yeah.
He said, help me. And I said, okay, I will. So here I was on the bus, closing my eyes, and I couldn't talk, couldn't speak on the bus because they wouldn't look at me like this. I said, I gotta help you cross over. So I helped him cross over, and he crossed over. And I asked my son, because he has to walk that path to go to school. And he said, yeah, that part was really dark. He said he just couldn't. He doesn't like it, and he also is an empath too, so he can see spirits, and he knows if it's a good place or not good place. And he said, yeah, I know that place really bothered me. I said, well, he's no longer there anymore. He went to heaven now. I said, oh, good. He said, oh, good. Now I can walk to school.
I suppose that must really bother you then, doesn't it? Like if it's constant, if you can keep hearing them, because I suppose you can't switch it off. It's always there.
I do switch it. No, I'm trying to make supper. Just go, Excuse me, I just woke up. I mean, I'm really exhausted. I need to drink my coffee, okay? Come and bother me some other time. In the middle of making supper. Can you, like some what? What? What do you want? And my kids again, huh? Like, it's kind of embarrassing,
Now, I suppose you've obviously, well, you live in Japan, you've heard of the suicide forest.
I'm not gonna go there.
No. So what's your initial, like, what's your beliefs on it? I mean, obviously you live there. I mean, we only hear what's on the internet and through word of mouth. What's the belief in Japan?
We're a Buddhist country, okay? We're not Christians. So Buddhist country believes that if you're suffering mentally, physically, whatever, you are allowed to die, whichever way you want to.
Yeah.
We let our bye-bye. We let our pets die. Okay, we help our pets to die, so we euthanize them, right? And when they're sick, but they allow them to not suffer. So you die the way you want to die.
Yeah.
And you hope that you don't feel any pain the next life, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
But you don't go there unless you're cleansed. That's the one thing. You don't go there unless you go to the temple and get cleansed, because you're gonna bring that with you, or else that's gonna come into you and make you kill yourself. You just don't.
Wow.
Okay.
That brings me on to a good point, because what I read was that apparently, where is it here? 2 seconds. I wrote it down. I've got lots of notes here. There's a belief that there's like demons in this forest that try and like encourage people to go there. And
it's like my condo.
Mm.
17 people killed themselves. They jumped from the roof. Okay.
That's great.
And
Yuri, that's it. Yuri.
Yeah, the Yuri, as they call it.
Yeah.
Yuri.
They were whispering in my ears, "Go and kill yourself." I said, "Like hell, I will." Like that's what I would say to them. I said to myself, I said, my eldest is also an empath too, and he said, "I got to help you because you're hearing this, and yeah, you're telling me to kill myself, and that's what happened to them in this condo. They all had something like they were unhappy with their life, and some of them drank medicine, some of them killed themselves that way. A lot of them jumped in there. So I didn't know that when we moved there, right? My youngest son my eldest son found out. He was only in grade 5, and he found out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, Mom, where are you? I'm downstairs. I could see this man jumping off the condominium and killing himself." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Where did we move to?"
That's insane. I suppose for people if they don't understand, you understand these voices are trying to make you do something. For people like us that aren't sensitive, and I suppose we just think it's ourselves, like affecting us, talking to ourselves, sort of thing, or.
And I have to tell you, 5 people died. One of my friends, my children's friend's father, he was only 36 years old. He was very young. He was very healthy. He had brain cancer, and he died in 1 week. You're not going to tell me that was. You're not going to tell me that was normal. He wasn't sick. They killed him.
Jeez.
And if you have problems with your heart, forget it. You're going to die of a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah. I had, as soon as maybe about a month after, I had headaches, and now I have migraines, and I can't get rid of them. We moved. I had migraines. I still can't get rid of them. I was rushed to the hospital 5 times in the ambulance, living there. They were trying to kill me. I know it.
God.
And my son, my eldest son, he had a pneumothorax for no reason. He had to be rushed to an ambulance in the hospital. The doctor asked, what happened to him? Do you guys smoke? Nope. Do you guys drink? Nope. They were trying to kill him.
Have you heard this before, Nick? Have you?
No, this is all new to me. I've never heard of anything like this before.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we hear stories and stuff of like people like you read in books about these things and that, but then to hear it actually from yourself that has been affected, your children have been affected, you've seen it's crazy. That puts
all my kids have migraines now.
It's like reality really hits the fan in some way. Like, geez.
And I have to go around with a medicine bag full of painkillers, and some of them are pretty strong. I have to carry. Like, there's no place that I don't go without Voltaren.
Wow.
Okay, and then I get a 1 pack with 10 pills in it, and then I can only take 2 a day, maximum 2 a day. That's how strong it is. And 1 prescription, and it's I can't live without it now. And I moved out, and I still can't live without it.
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
it followed me here, and it was a dark entity that followed me here, and it was bothering me for about a week, and then afterwards it went away. But it was pretty nasty. And if I talked about it like I do now, it'll come back to me and get mad at me. It was a dark presence. It had no eyes. It was wearing a black clothes, and then he comes and say, "Don't you dare talk about this place." And if I was living there, I'd talk to my friends on the telephone. My phone would be offline, if I wrote a email, my email would disappear. You
Really?
can't tell me that doesn't happen. It's not in my head either. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that
It
that
did
actually happened.
It did it. It did it. Okay. It did it.
I mean, this puts into reality. I think. I mean, we have like Nick as well. Like we're so interested in the paranormal, but when you hear stories like yourself and what's actually happening,
Yeah.
it really puts into reality that this isn't a game; it is real.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
do think it's a huge warning for people out there.
It
That
was scary. It scared the heck out of me. I wasn't into the paranormal at the time. It
Yeah.
scared the living daylights out of me. I couldn't sleep. I mean, one time I was so tired, and my son said, I can't sleep in my bedroom. Can I sleep in your room? I said, sure. And it came out 2 a.m. I felt a man's hand on my back. And I was frozen. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I was paralyzed. It paralyzed me. And I felt him carrying me to a cemetery. I thought, you're gonna kill me. I know it. You know. Finally, I broke out and I woke up and I screamed out to my son. He said, I know. He was here. There's 2 of them here. And I said, and I started crying because it was just, I couldn't come to terms with it. Like I couldn't say anything. I said to my, we gotta move. And then it was killing my husband because he was flying down in debt. He was going down in hill in debt, and then he thought, we're gonna be homeless, if we have to live here any longer. So my mother's friend's son is a real estate agent, and then he tried helping us, and finally we got custody of my husband's parents, and then they're in a retirement home next to us. We got hold of their money, and they asked us to maybe we should buy a house. And finally, we got rid of that place. We bought a house. So
Yeah.
we waited 1 year to do that. But I mean, the things that went on for 20 years.
20 years. That's a long time.
Every 6 years, I'd get something happen to me. I'm lucky I'm alive till now. I'm lucky I'm alive now. Because you wouldn't be able to handle it. Everyone said, oh, that'd be great. I love living in haunted house. I said, oh, yeah, you got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because,
and to show you, I mean, it's a good warning for ourselves. I think that's a good warning for people that it's not all fun and games. It is.
No, you got to take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's 144 suites, and you can't ask 144 people to help cleanse the place because they're not going to want to do it. And they're all fighting with each other. Like everyone fights down and upstairs, across ways. You got people above you, you got people next to you, people down below, and they're all fighting with each other, and you're wondering why, And you can't tell them we got to cleanse the place. Then they're gonna say, you're crazy woman, like that.
Yeah.
I said, okay, the only way we can do this is just ditch the place and leave, right? He said, yeah. Because and here I was saging this place every 2 years. I was saging the place. I was smoking my place. It looked like a smokehouse, You just you can't get rid of it. Doesn't want to go. And my eldest son's room, I think there's a portal, because he said, Mom, I can't go to school. I have to go to school. And he looked so pale, and he said, I just watched a Grim Reaper kill a man slowly, and he just died. And I said, no. He said, yeah. And he had to go to junior high school, and he was wet as a sheet, like he saw a ghost. And I said, man, you gotta stay home. You can't go to school. Stuff happened to him. Stuff happened to him. And he was so weak, he couldn't move. And he was so weak, and he would just be. I said, what happened to you? Oh, you're not gonna believe this. And he'd tell me these things that he saw in his room. He said, I can't sleep in this room anymore. Can I sleep in your room? Yeah. Okay, you can sleep in my room. And he said, oh, good, And things would happen in our room too afterwards also. And I said, oh.
Maybe you need to move out of Japan, I think.
Yeah.
This is my home. I love it here.
Yeah.
Sounds it.
My house is clean.
Hmm?
He picked this house for us, so it's nice and clean. So I don't have to worry about it.
So
Our soil's clean, but
you not get as many problems now you're in the new house then?
yeah, they
Nice.
just come and come and come and come and come in my ears. I said, okay, one at a time. Okay, what's your problem? Like, but after I moved out, I have this gift that I can hear them. And then if I close my eyes and add a picture, I can see this person. I said, this old lady's dying, like she wants to die, but she can't die fast enough. And I was talking to her and she said, I want to die. And I said, okay, just close your eyes and you can go now. Your job is over. And the next day she did die. And she was happy about it. And she came to me and said, thank you. Like, I can see her.
Yeah.
She came to me. She said, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Like this. She did this to me. So now I help people with their parents who are or loved ones that are dying in a hospital. I can help them cross over.
Yeah.
It's not killing them. It's like helping them cross over.
Yeah.
And I know if a person died, I know how they died and what they died from and stuff like that. Because I can ask them questions when I'll just say, how did you die? Like
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, and they'll tell me how they died.
That's great. It must be so rewarding though to be able to help people like that. And
yeah, and then I tell them, and then I won't plant roses up their butt, and I tell them exactly how they feel, why they can't die now, because you have to tell your mother it's okay now. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I have to. I'll tell them that, and they say that to their mother. They said she passed away. And I said, oh, okay. She's saying to you, thank you very much, and goodbye. Like I love you. And then I give them a message like that and say, thank you very much. I don't say I'm sorry for your mother's death. I won't say that. I'll tell them exact message what they want to hear. Mm-hmm. And they said that makes me feel really good inside.
Yeah.
Instead of saying sorry for your death, of the family, we regrets and sorry. They don't want to hear that really. They want to hear something else. So they give them the other side of it, and they said that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm just blown away at the moment. Like hearing your story is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So now I read something anyway about the forest. Now I'm probably going to say it totally wrong. Excuse me if I do.
I'm sure she'll tell you if it's wrong.
Is it Ubasut? I've said that really wrong. Basically, it's the tradition of abandoning somebody in the forest in times of famine. Apparently, the rough translation is to abandon the old woman. It says it's the practice of leaving the elderly in a forest or mountain to slowly die when in times of starvation to lessen the.
They go them by themselves to the mountain because they don't want to be a hindrance on the family, like a pain in the butt to everyone else. So that's why they do that.
So it's like
sorry.
Almost like in a way, it's like they feel like they shouldn't be fitting in with the rest of their family because they feel useless, I guess, in a way. If I could kind of picture it. When you get old, you say you have problems, like you could be sick or something like that. So instead of being a pain in the rear end, they
they say, well, it's my time. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to die, or I suppose they want to go away with dignity in a way, on their own terms.
I suppose that comes back to your point, Irene, when you're saying about that people have a right to die when they want to and how they want to.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose that comes back to that because
you see, Christianity didn't come till later on. Okay, that's another good story I have. Christianity didn't come till later on. When they came to Japan with Christianity, samurai was like king. He was like prime minister, everything else of the country. He was like president, and when shogun was president, they had all these soldiers underneath who were samurai soldiers, right?
Yeah.
They came to Kyushu Island, okay, and they came to Kyoto, in the big island. But they came to Kyushu Island and they said, "I'm preaching the word of God. Then you will die like God. You will die like Jesus Christ. You'll be crucified." So they crucified 24 people of his followers and 3 priests that came. And I went there too. And it is creepy and haunted too. So they crucified them to the cross. They made a cross and they crucified. They put him on a mountain and they crucified him. All of them.
That's crazy.
Until the body rot. Until their body rot. And the people who saved femur, 3 bones. I put it on my website, okay, on my group, and they saved 3 bones of 3 priests, and they put it in a church, and that's creepy too, and that's haunted also. You could see the bones. They displayed them in the church, in the Catholic Church. You can see them, but they crucified them all. And there's another place in Kyoto where they did the same thing, and it's up in a mountain in a forest. They roped it off so you can't go there, but you can go there. It's really creepy, haunted, and in order to help the spirits, they brought in the Mother Mary and brought in Jesus Christ statue. They made 2 statues and they put it in there, and that has dogma. They bleed blood from their eyes and from their hands.
Jeez.
And it's really creepy, haunted. You can go there if you want to.
I don't think so.
I'm
all right.
I couldn't find it on the website where it is, but I was watching a program, and this guy, actor, is also an empath, and he said, "Oh, see, you can see him. He's wandering around there too. See, look at the statues; they're bleeding, because they were killed that way."
Yeah,
it is possible. It is possible though for blood to come out your eyes though.
Yeah,
it happened to me in where was it? I think it was Cyprus, and I had a really bad nosebleed, and because I was blocking it, the blood actually started coming out my eyes, and I was scaring the kids at school.
The orifices are the same. The sinuses are connected, right? The eyes.
They are. Yes, it can happen. Obviously, not out of statue though.
No, but I mean, stuff like that. We have a dark history of things happening, and people, women are especially being scorned. Some of them men don't want to pay alimony, or they don't want to do anything to help them, so they kill a woman, they kill her, or they'll throw her down a well, like in the ring. Okay.
Yeah.
They threw her. He didn't want to pay alimony. He didn't want to divorce her, so he killed her so he can find another new girl. So that's what happened.
Way of doing it.
So he just killed her. He threw her down the well.
Yeah.
And
there was another film that I knew of that had a similar element to it. It was actually part of a TV series that was on Showtime. This was like almost 20 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that series, Masters of Horror. That was that was all done by like directors that directed a lot of the classic horror films, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But their very last episode they did, unlike most episodes, which were usually only just about an hour each, this was basically like a full film. I can't remember what that episode was called, but it was one of 2 Japanese films they did, and this one in particular. I mean, to make a long story short, it was obviously about an American who has fallen in love with this, Japanese woman. The problem is she was the wife of his boss, so they went out to like a kind of like a small cruise or something like that on their own. And all of a sudden, they start getting attacked by this female entity that just shows up out of nowhere, and they're out in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's revealed that what happened was who this woman was she was the spirit of the guy's boss's previous wife.
Yeah.
Or he murdered her, threw her in the ocean, so she could marry. Well, he could marry this woman that he likes. So. It's something you see very commonly in a lot of those type of films.
Because, scorned woman, right? And that's what happened. And another one is it's
never
a cliff.
Yeah.
It was a huge cliff and a nasty samurai. He was a real jerk anyways. he had 100 plates from Europe, okay? Ceramic plates from Europe. She was a housekeeper. She was washing the plates and she broke a plate by accident. He cut her with her sword and he threw her down off the mountain. So you could hear her screaming, and she counts the plates: 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate. When she gets up to 99, she starts crying and she goes back again from 1, 2, 3. It's haunted. That's her. That's her.
Sounds like a guy you want to get to know.
My mother, it was a legend. My mother would tell me these certain stories and it's true, because you can visit the site, but you can't walk. Like for you as a couple, you can't go there with your husband in your arm or your spouse in your arm. You have to walk separately, and you can't pray. If it was a man, he'd be able to do this. But a woman would just pray like this, because she doesn't like it. She wouldn't allow it.
That's mad.
There are rules.
Yeah.
There's a place where everyone goes. It's not here. It's not anywhere near Tokyo. It's near the mountain area. A businessman, his daughter died of an illness, and she couldn't marry anybody, so he made a statue of a god of her up the mountain, and that's haunted too. You can't go there as a couple. I went there with my husband in my arm. He lost some money. Something happened to him. He said when he came down the mountain, you know what? I don't know. I had my money in my wallet. My wallet's empty now. What happened to it? And stuff would happen to him because we walked there together in arm in arm. You can't do that. Some places you can't walk together. Some places you can walk separate. If I walked with my friend arm in arm, it would be okay, but she'd get jealous.
Yeah, that's crazy. I suppose the spirit world has their own rules as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Quickly before we get to the obviously Mystic Goth, we'll get to his question in a minute. But Nick, you probably have heard of the film, and you probably have as well, Irene. The film called The Forest, which was based on the Suicide Forest. Now, I briefly seen it. I'm not a big fan of horror films, but I have seen it.
Oh, I watched it all.
It's obviously about a girl whose twin sister goes to the forest to end her life, and she goes there to find her sister. And obviously, then it goes into the horror part of the forest. Now,
I thought the ending was really good. It was a good twist.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, you've seen the film. I mean,
I actually have not. I was supposed to. Well, now I just want to say one thing. I mean, I know it didn't get a whole lot of best reviews, but I still heard it was still a pretty good film. We were actually, my crew and I, when that movie came out, I think it was 2017. I think it came out, or late 2000, either 2016 or 17, one of those years.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to go see it, and we actually had a friend of ours who was actually still in high school at the time that was supposed to come with us. Unfortunately, we had to cancel it because we found, well, she didn't tell us. We just happened to find out for ourselves. We found out that one of her classmates had actually committed suicide. So yeah, it was horrible once I heard about what happened. This was like a girl who was only like maybe 16, 17 years old. So right around the same age as our friend was, who was 17 at the time. But we decided because of this, we thought, you know what? I mean, as much as I really wanted to see it, so did some of the rest of our crew. With all due respect, seeing that it was Deerfield High School that this occurred, which is only about 20 minutes from where I live, we decided we had no choice but to pretty much cancel it because we just thought it just wouldn't be respectful. Yeah, it just wouldn't be respectful to see a film about suicides when we just had a kid that committed suicide. So we were supposed to see it, but we had to cancel it. So unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet.
I think that happened on purposely, so you shouldn't watch it, so you shouldn't see it, so you shouldn't view it. To me, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
it made me wonder. I have to admit, it was. I just had to basically. I was telling myself this couldn't just be a simple coincidence because first off, this happened before the movie was even released. So it kind of makes you wonder.
Definitely.
You know, could there be some kind of connection between this suicide and the movie that came out?
I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
That's true. It does happen for a reason.
Yeah.
It's telling you this is not your time to watch it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't watch it.
And I do think as well that if you are suffering from depression or if you've gone through a friend or anything like that, then you really shouldn't watch it anyway until you are ready to watch something like that because it is a heavy film. It touch on it.
I do think that the film is also like
that, sometimes when you watch certain things, it could bring you to do something terrible too. So it's warning you also. Don't watch it. Don't look at it.
Yeah.
Don't view it because I am dying or I'm going to die.
Yeah, because it could sit in your subconscious, I suppose, and then, like you
It'll
say,
make
you
do it.
Movies
for no reason.
That's pretty much why we decided to cancel our what we call theater nights, which we usually we did different types of events like movie nights, theater nights. Yeah. This was one of our theater nights, and we had to cancel it because of that. So that's and to this day, I mean, of course, obviously, you won't find very much about the details of what happened, but to this day, I still don't know. I still literally don't know why this kid committed suicide. So never found out what the reason or motives for it was.
If you send me a picture, message me a picture of her if you have one, I could find out for you.
I didn't because again it was like almost 5 years ago. I don't quite remember, but I'll definitely try to look to see if there's anything.
If you have a picture, I could ask her.
Wow, that's brilliant. What I was going to say about the film, I do think that it's put like a negative effect on the forest, on the actual genuine forest. Like you're saying, Irene, like people have gone there to die on their own terms and die respectfully. I do think the film is kind of putting it in a negative light and making it more of the horror aspect,
and everyone wants to go there, right?
Yeah, and it's creating that atmosphere.
But to me, I won't, because out of respect, I won't go there.
Yeah.
Do respect the people who was very unhappy. Who
What gets me though is why that forest? Why is that the forest that got picked? Do you know what I mean?
A lot of it is to do with that novel that I said at the beginning. Have you heard of the novel, Irene? I can't remember its name, but apparently in the 70s there was a novel that was released about a heartbroken lover who ended her life in the forest. And apparently this started the trend of go into this forest and committing suicide. It almost became a romantic place to end your life, sort of thing.
If you ever been to Mount Fuji, they have 5 lakes around there. I've been there just to go sightseeing. It's kind of, it's dark. It comes out of a horror movie. It comes out of a ghost movie. It's like a ghost movie. Yeah. It's frightening. I don't want to go there. It's I just went there just to look, just to go sightseeing with my friends, my cousins. I mean, that area is just creepy as heck. I mean,
Yeah.
they have 5 certain lakes around Mount Fuji, and it's just oof. It's dreary. It's not. It's not a great place to go. You know, it's not a nice place to wander around. You know, I mean, mind you, it was raining. So, but I mean, it was just it was a creepy feeling around that area.
Yeah, they say that a lot, and like they say about, because especially in the forest, they're saying that it's so dense that it's silent, and when you breathe, your breath like sounds like a roar. It's dead silent because there's not very much wildlife that lives there neither.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like if you look at locations like the Suicide Forest, there's like barely any wildlife, and due to its eerie atmosphere, it's just you could basically hear almost like a pin drop in that forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost there as well.
Oh yeah. It's
If you get lost, you don't come out.
although they say that some people. Well, they actually say some people actually sometimes bring, I think, like white tape and stuff, so that way they're able to mark down their paths. So in case they did get lost, they'd be able to. But yeah, I've heard of a few people who said I've heard that there's even a few people who disappeared in that forest.
Yeah, like this tape here.
Yeah.
Now, the tapes a lot of the time is also for actually helping to find the body of the person that's committed suicide. Because obviously they don't want their body to stay there.
I'm just reading the picture. Just a second. Don't bother me. Leave me alone.
Is that what that you got from that picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't come. Don't bother me. Leave me alone.
That's crazy.
Incredible.
That's what you read from that picture, just from that, seeing that.
I do this. I close my eyes, and I move my right hand across the picture, up and down. I can feel it. Don't bother me.
Can we show you a picture, actually?
Yeah.
Sure.
The one that we've got from our box.
What box?
The mystery box.
I don't know what picture she's getting. This is a bit of an off-cuff bit of the.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Going on here. Okay, yes.
Right, this is what we got from our mystery box, which is on our channel. We did a massive mystery unboxing. So this is the picture.
Can you bring it a little bit closer to the... No. Yeah. I died. How did you die? I was sick. I died my own terms. Please go to heaven. There's no reason why you're around here. I know that you were sick. I know that you died. It's okay. You can go in peace now. You're okay. God is waiting for you. No. You're supposed to go. You can't hang around, and there's nothing around here for you anymore. He's asking me why. Because.
Is he trapped in the photo?
Yeah, he's...
Do you get a name from him?
What is your name?
We don't know his name.
John? Jonathan? John?
It's fantastic.
John. I think John.
John.
I could be wrong. Johnny or John?
Because this photo, we don't know anything about it. All we know, what was it, that he's quite a jokey kind of guy, and he likes to move things and stuff. But we don't know the name. People that have the photo.
Johnny or John or Jonathan. John. One of those three.
Fantastic. Thank you, Irene. I mean, that's amazing.
Even though when you get a full name, I mean, that's still better than nothing. Even just having a first name.
Sometimes they mumble. Sometimes they tell me right away. My name is this. I died this way. You know, sometimes they can come. It depends on how they come out and how, if they want to come out, and then if they don't want to come out, well, then you can forget about it, right? And you forget about voice box either, using any equipment either, because that's not going to work on them either.
Mhm.
My friend, I had a friend who was also an investigator in England. He went to this military site. It was supposed to be full of bunkers, and this guy, he was saluting at me, and I asked him, "And why don't you speak to him?" "No, I'm not going to speak to the stupid dumb machine." I said, "Oh, you're only left with me. Sorry, he's not going to talk to you." You know, like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you. And what really bothers me, the people that were on the stream there, they said I was this, and I had to quit. I said, "That's it. I'm leaving." You know, you think you're calling me this? You know,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. You know, and I just left. I said, "To heck with it. You don't believe me? That's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The information that we got on the picture was physical activity noted in the form of team members being touched, cold air blown on their hands and faces, requests to manifest and move push the photo have been captured. Spirit box recordings note a gentleman shouting, "Be quiet," and touches life before laughing loudly. Obviously a bit of a joker. Table tipping experiment proved good results with this item. And that's all we've been given.
He's taunting everybody. He doesn't want you there. He doesn't want you there. He doesn't want you in that place. That's his place. Don't bother me. Stay away from me. Why are you there? You know?
That's fantastic. I mean, that's given us some more to go on, because
a bit more information.
We've only had this photo a couple of days now.
Mhm.
We knew
it's not for you to go there. This is my place. Why are you there? Get out. In Japan, this way is just leave, not go away. You don't like this. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this is our house, actually. We're here first.
He's telling you to get out. You don't belong there. This is my territory, not yours.
So he's quite a strong character, then a dominant character, you'd say, like.
Yeah.
He just come across like that.
He wants you to respect him.
Yeah, of course we will.
If you don't respect me, if you don't respect me, you should leave. You know.
Yeah.
I don't like you here.
That's amazing. That is a first. I mean, we didn't know we were going to do this on the live tonight. No. So people watching, that is completely off the cuff.
Sorry, this happened. You know, nothing is this and that. Sorry, I have to make myself a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you're right. We understand it's extremely early there. Now
it's 5 a.m.
There's a quick question if the guy's still there. Mystic Goth 13. What's the thoughts on the occultists within the paranormal? Nick, do you want to roll with this one, mate?
Not me.
Yeah.
And I see that's actually even a question I sometimes ask myself too. I mean, I always know that, some people said that the occultists, are associated, other times it's not, because, there's sometimes, as we all know, in some cults there's animal sacrifices, and even rare occasions, human sacrifices. I mean, yes, they're obviously worshiping some type. Of course, obviously, usually it's the devil, or usually some type of pagan deity or some other type of entity. But I don't think everything that I don't think everything that involves a cult is considered, always paranormal itself. Of course, the only time I think I really see a paranormal side effect to it is like here in Chicago. Like, we got one of the most notorious cemeteries here. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, and even still to this day, we still, because it's so popular, unfortunately, it's also one of the most vandalized cemeteries in the country. I mean, I actually found some very rare photographs of what it looked like. Like, I found old photographs previously of it, but these were the first I found that I think they were from about 70 years ago now, 1951. And you could see how nice of a cemetery it really was back in its days. But you got the kids, teens, and young adults, the vandalizers that want to break in, start taking apart, graves, throwing them in, the nearby lagoon. But also, in addition to that, too, you don't just have those troublemakers. You got a lot of these cult members, too, that go in and perform these rituals.
And stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding.
Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, they often usually do. They always want to go in because they often want to associate with the paranormal aspects of it. So they usually will perform rituals and stuff like that. Even though nowadays, I mean, they're very strict on allowing anybody going in. If you walk in after dark, you will be arrested for it. And even though it's in a forest area itself, they literally have police. They literally have officers all over, like all around the sidelines to prevent anyone going in.
It's sacrilegious to go in a place where a person has died and to do something like that. They said you will die yourself because of that.
Right. There was
circle sort of thing.
Karma at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There was actually one time when we went to Batcher's Grove and we found one of the few graves that was left. We found what looked like red candle wax on top of one of the graves. And as soon as we saw that, one of the guys said, "Yeah, this looks like this must have been a spot where they perform satanic rituals."
It's so disrespectful, and especially if you don't understand what it is you're actually doing as well and what you're conjuring.
I do think a lot. I mean, fair enough. If people want to have their beliefs, if they believe in the devil or whatever, and that's what they want to do, then happy days. Yeah. But then you don't
do it on your own property. Don't do it on somebody else's.
Yeah,
exactly. And don't disrespect other people. That's their grave. That's their last resting place.
Yeah.
Like, and it's one of the few last resting places too, because so many of them are missing. And to make matters worse, I mean, it sounds like to me this is not happening, thank God. But about 7 or 8 years ago, when we went, there were plans that they were going to they wanted to demolish the remaining part of the cemetery. Like what they wanted to do was, I guess it was kind of like in a contract, if you will, because the last official burial that occurred there was back in 1988. So there have not been any more burials since because they no longer use it. That's why, again, it has that abandoned aspect to it. But the problem is that what I remember hearing was they wanted. So in order for these graves to still be around, it's because of the descendants, the family members of the deceased. It's like part of a contract where once they pass away, they no longer have the rights, if you will, to keep their family members buried. So their original plan was once these other family members passed away, they were going to remove all these graves and they were going to turn it into a camping ground area. And it was one of the most worst things that I ever heard about. I mean, obviously part of it was because so now they can make it legal for people to go in after dark, but it was still like it was horrible to hear. And the state couldn't do anything about it. But because that was 7-8 years ago now, that hasn't changed. As far as I know, it's still a cemetery, but let's just hope that it stays that way.
Isn't it the same with like
it's a desecration. And what's wrong about it? You shouldn't. They do that here too. They have graves also, and then they remove them to make freeways or whatever roads out of it. Now it's just something that you don't do. Okay, I know. We live on a little island. I know property is very hard. I know space is just little space that you have, but you just don't do that. You don't dig up everybody and put them someplace else because that soil is there and that soil has that on it. You just
Isn't it the same with I probably got the place wrong, Mexico, where they're buried for so long in the cemetery. And then they
exhume the bodies,
exhume the bodies, and they give it back to the family. Now,
and then they bury somebody else there, and it's
keep moving all the ashes, and it's just they're mixing it all up, and
they do something like that too. Also in other parts of Europe, like you got the catacombs, of course, of Paris being the most notorious. They just exhumed all those corpses and put them into the catacombs, where they still remain to this day. Some for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Then you also got the well, not necessarily they didn't exhume them, but then you got the Capuchin catacombs out in Palermo, Sicily. But those are more on display and usually by families' requests. And then finally you had I don't know if it was out in the UK, but there was another cemetery I heard of that they literally put a cemetery right on top of the previous one, like
Yeah.
like 10, 12 times or something like that.
Yeah, that's happened a lot in this country.
It's the same with Indian, like where obviously the
Indian burial grounds, right?
and then you're burying and building on top of
The
it.
US.
But going on to lastly about disrespect, obviously the big notorious Logan Paul, who went to the suicide forest and did a YouTube video, and that went viral on YouTube, and it got a lot of hate.
Oh yeah.
He basically unfortunately did find somebody that had ended their life, and he used it almost to his benefit to get ratings on YouTube, which is
that was a graphic video. I mean, oh my God, that was just like, it was horrible.
I mean, there are things here that you don't touch, and sometimes if you like doing YouTube videos and or anything like that, and you go to a place that's haunted, I'm surprised that he's still alive. You know that.
Really?
There are people who there are young people who go to haunted places and haunted houses or haunted areas, and they wound up in the hospital the next day, and they're dead within 1 week.
Yeah.
They get sick and they die, and you can't. There sometimes we have videos that you can watch. I can pick it up anytime on YouTube. I can pick it up and I can send it out to my friends, but I don't. The reason why I don't, and I'm very careful about what I use as a haunted video or a haunted picture, because it can come back to you and you can die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We
saw a haunted video in our old condo. We were watching this haunted video on TV. They put them on the TV. We have a CS tuner, so Sky Perfect TV, and we can see that we can watch them. We were watching one. It was the lady who died in a car accident, and that car is haunted, or in that area is haunted, and she came out and sat and started giggling at us. And my son said, "We got to change the channel," and he threw a pillow at her because he could see her. She's going, and she was doing that, and my son said, "Can we change the channel?" You know, my daughter said, "I don't want to watch this anymore." So he threw a pillow at her and told her to get out of here. You know, but I mean, videos and certain things like that, you gotta be careful. I gotta be careful what I pick and choose. That's why I'm on my group. I don't post too much because I don't want people to die for no reason. It's gonna be I'm responsible of what I post.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, maybe I will post it. But I said to my friend, if I posted it on Pure Unity one time, I said, please use your crystals. Please bring protection when you watch this video, because I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And remember I said that to you. That's what somebody asked me, if I could post something on something paranormal on Pure Unity. And I said, okay, I will. But I'm not going to be responsible. And you have to protect yourself when you watch it.
Yeah.
Not in English, but you can watch it if you want to.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned that. I think that was on one of our shows on the Pun Network you were talking about. So I can't remember what that was, but I remember when you were talking about that last time.
And so that's why I'm very careful about what I post. A lot of interesting horror places, paranormal places here, but not all of them is all that you could post. Not all of them is that for everyone to see. You to see, me to see. No.
Yeah.
I just don't want something happen to somebody who I know is my friend.
Yeah.
It's just out of respect. I don't do that.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do, I think, and it does, like we've been saying tonight, that people need to realize that this stuff is real, and it does have an effect. I think it's too easy nowadays with with the internet and what we see on TV, to think it's all just a game, it's all fun and games, and people want to try everything and do this and do that, but we don't think about the long-lasting effects of all these things that we actually do.
Well, I mean, think about if it's true or it's not true. Like Ghost Adventures, obviously, he's actually given
The
himself.
stuff that he does, yeah.
He's given himself eye problems now because of the last thing that he did.
Yeah.
You don't say come to me. You don't taunt them. You don't say come to me. One time, my friend Claire was doing a stream, and then there was a lady, and then I said talk to Claire, and I said go to her, and she said, oh, she came to me. Oh, I don't like that. She came too close to me. I said, oh, I'm sorry, Claire. I told her to do that. Yikes. That's my fault. I said to you, you can talk to her, but don't come to her. Like I wrote, I said something wrong. It was in a church, and I said something. Oh, darn it, I shouldn't have said. I'm sorry, Claire. I told her to come to you. I said, oh, she took it literally. Okay, Spirit took it literally. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, darn it. That's my fault. But I mean, they take it literally. They don't understand. Oh, okay. I will do that. So they do that, and they said. And then it came too close to her, and she felt very uncomfortable about it. So I said, "Well, that's my fault. I'm sorry." like I mean, gee whiz, I mean, you have to be careful. You have to be careful what you say to them, because they'll take it literally too.
Yeah,
really.
You can't take that back. What happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I told her you can talk to her, but don't go to her. I had to tell her what to do. Because she's a lady, and she was crying, and I think she fell off the upper part of the church, and she that's how she succumbed to her death. But I mean, and then I tell an investigator, and then they said, I want to go upstairs. I said, don't go up there. Please don't go up there. Please don't do that. She went upstairs, and she shouldn't have done that. I said, I told you shouldn't go there. If I say don't go there, don't go there. I mean,
I suppose it's the mystery there, wasn't it, behind it? It's the
law, isn't it?
Yeah.
Drag you in.
I gotta go there. I gotta go there.
You want to find out,
Gotta get there. Gotta get there. Kind of
not to do it. They automatically do it. You're better off just doing reverse psychology on them.
You shouldn't do it. Don't do it. Like this guy that I know, he likes going to the cemetery and investigating it. I said, don't touch that tree. He said, why shouldn't I? He was asking me, should I touch the tree? Don't touch that tree. That belongs to those kids. That belongs to that kid in that cemetery. Don't touch it. She'll get mad at you. Eventually, he got bitten on his leg, and he got scratched on his leg.
Oh my gosh!
I told you shouldn't do that. I mean, I told you not to. I was giving him heck for doing that, and then he just ignored me and did it. And I said. And after he came out, he said, look at my leg. I got scratched and I got bitten. Yeah, John didn't want you to do that. You're not supposed to listen to me, okay? I was giving him heck for doing that. And he said, okay, I won't do that. I said, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there, don't. I hate cemeteries. I just hate cemeteries. I just don't like doing them, okay? Because I get a lot of and I feel uncomfortable, and one of them followed me, and I couldn't sleep for a week, and I was just it just bothered me. And he was just something that I just don't want, just
yeah, I bet you didn't.
Just don't, okay? I mean, and I was scared. Like I had it scared the living daylights out of me. I mean, I don't get scared that easily, okay? And it scared it gave me the creepers, right? It made the hair on your back go, guzzing, and you said,
Feel of us though, the fact that we've got like these dolls and stuff, and
yeah, we collect like haunted dolls and items and stuff, and I suppose it's the same thing, isn't it? Like
you can message me and I could talk to them.
We definitely will. Thank you. Yeah, we definitely will.
But I don't like dolls either, you know that. I could tell you more about that picture too if you want to later on. But I mean, they have a thing in this country. It's a don't buy a doll for your child that's bigger than your child. Okay, the doll is bigger than your child. The doll will take over your child, and your child will die, and the doll will live.
Well, we're going to lock these ones away.
Yeah.
Padlock them.
So I always buy a doll that's smaller than my child.
That's
Oh, okay.
interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, definitely going to padlock these ones with some salt and.
Yeah, we'll certainly send you a picture of the photo that we showed you, and we'll certainly message you about the dolls and that. And
Yeah, have you got Facebook and that?
Hmm?
You got Facebook and Instagram?
I have Instagram and I have Facebook too. I have Messenger also.
Oh, awesome.
If you want to, Howard, you can. Howard, forward my name to them, and and we'll do it that way. Okay, you know.
Cool. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, we have run a little bit over tonight, but thank you so much for coming on, Irene. Obviously, we know it's extremely early over there.
I'm awake now. I had my coffee. I'm awake now.
Started your day well. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome. Nick, again, also thank you so much for being here, mate. Everyone that's been watching and commenting, Elizabeth, thank you for your comments. And everyone else.
I just want to show you something. This is my T-shirt, okay?
Yeah.
It comes from my mother's relative's Shinto shrine. And I just want to show you one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. It's in the other room. I'm sorry. My husband's sleeping. See this?
Yeah.
This one's for COVID, so you don't get COVID.
Oh,
this one's for protection for me, so I don't get sick.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
It has my name written down on the side. This is like a god. It's not a religion.
Oh, it's like
it's not a religion, but it's a Shinto shrine.
Okay.
You get blessed, and you go there, and this is what you're allowed to bring home for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The reason why I go there is because my mother's family. We were talking. Remember, Nick? We were talking about royals.
Yeah.
My mother's family, Princess Michiko of the royal family in Japan. My mother's family is related to them.
Oh, I'm actually related to royalty as well in the UK.
So,
I found out as well.
So she was also Catholic too. You know that?
Oh, okay.
My grandmother went to Catholic school too. My mother also. So, but I mean, she is related to them, and only the very affluent Japanese people go to Shinto shrines.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So, not everybody goes there. Not everybody goes and gets purified and cleansed there. Only certain people do. And if you're a member, they give you membership, and you can go there whenever you want to and get purified. I mean, it doesn't cost that much money. You don't have to belong to like you do to a church. You don't have to belong. You can go whenever you want. It's up to you as a person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I wear this T-shirt when I talk about spirits, because it has a huge Buddhist thing on the back of my T-shirt, and I just don't feel comfortable without it. Right? Sometimes certain things I don't want to talk about, I have to talk about it because it's part of what I love to do. Right?
Yeah.
I sometimes just don't feel comfortable. Okay. Like tonight, I don't feel comfortable talking about it, so I wear this T-shirt for protection because it has a huge Buddha on the back of it, so I feel some kind of protection against whatever I have, whatever that's out there. You don't know what's out there. I don't know what's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. But yeah, so thank you again, Irene, for coming on and sharing your stories with us. it's certainly made the show come alive tonight.
I also shared the link, for people to watch, of course. So I helped out too.
I have a group, World of Ghosts,
Yeah.
meaning the world of ghosts, the whole world, everyone. Join my group if you want to. It's free. I don't kick posts because I had posts kicked off because they don't find it interesting. I don't kick posts off of my group. It's open for you to join and for you to like, and for you to post whatever horror ghost pictures or horror or whatever. Just keep it paranormal. That's what that's my motto. And feel free. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, very true, Elizabeth.
Anybody watching as well, we obviously haven't got a subject yet for next Friday. If anyone's got any ideas, or we'll think of something. And Sunday we'll post what we're going to be doing next Friday. Of course, Irene, anytime you want to come on, you can come on our show with us. It's been a pleasure.
Get your coffee ready.
Yeah, plenty of coffee. Been fantastic. But yeah, so we'll have to end tonight because I've got to go to work in the morning very early.
And I'm just woken up now.
Yeah.
Over here, I just got back home from work.
It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Yeah,
I'll make you supper.
Elizabeth's asking, what's the name, I think, of the group, Irene?
World of Ghosts.
World of Ghosts.
There you go, Elizabeth. So anybody watching, go and follow Irene. Awesome lady. And
follow Nick as well.
Yeah, Nick, he knows his shit. Like he's all over it. Yeah, thank you.
Be careful what you post. And I was on saying, be careful what you post because you don't want to come back to you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching.
Okay. Bye-bye.